Hello everybody. So we've been recently taking more of an effort to kind of keep you guys up to date on some of the latest news and things going on in the auto industry, especially now that, the coronavirus has kind of made things more difficult as far as launches and stuff. We're kind of looking forward to future vehicles maybe even more than we already were. With that being said, today we wanted to kind of discuss with you guys the all-new 2021 Nissan Rogue, which we recently just saw some kind of advanced renders that were based off of some information from patents. So we have basically a very realistic look at what the all-new Nissan Rogue is probably going to look like, and we're just going to kind of discuss some of the things that we think about it.
Now, starting out here, I do want to, kind of talk about just the simple importance of this all-new Rogue. I mean, a lot of you guys, if you're familiar with, this segment of vehicle, this is becoming the most popular segment of vehicle, besides for trucks here in the United States.
Is.
And the Nissan Rogue is really, really old as it currently stands. I mean, it's not a horrible product, but it definitely is in desperate need of some redesigns to keep it in line with the Toyota RAV4 and Honda CR-V. And I think that's really what we're going to get here with this 2021 version, because, Nissan, they can't really afford to mess around anymore, because they will get left behind by some of the more competitive offerings in the segment. And it is worth noting, too, that Nissan is always notorious for having that extra value quotient. So if they're able to deliver a product that is competitive with the segment and then add that value quotient on top of that, I think they will be very successful with it.
But coming back to those renders that we were talking about, basically where they're derived from was patent filings, I believe, in Brazil, I think was where it was at. They kind of rendered an object. It was like a clay-looking object, and some artists have basically filled it out and with graphics made it look like a full Nissan Rogue. So you can really start to see the shape, and you can tell that also closely matches with all the spy shots that we've been seeing separately. There is some certain elements that you could very clearly make out, like two-part headlight design, a V-motion grille, stuff like that, and you can also get the general shape, of course, as well.
Yeah, and it is important to note here, these are not just made up, graphic or just made up drawings or whatever from some random person. Like you said, it is based on evidence here. So we do have a decent idea of what it's going to look like. And, quite frankly, I don't know about you, Drew, but I think it actually looks really quite good on the outside. The inside, we have a little bit less of an idea of what it's going to look like, but the outside, I think, actually looks really quite good. It's pretty stylish for that segment of vehicle. So I think it's definitely
it's going to have to be stylish. Because frankly the RAV4 is pretty stylish. The CR-V, but that's also an older product, so it'll probably be redesigned in a couple years as well.
Now, according to sources, it is also likely that this Rogue will continue with its 2.5 liter four-cylinder engine that it had in the previous generation, which makes like 180 horsepower. It's pretty class competitive. Now, one of the things that I saw was interesting is they think, and we're speculating, that there could actually be a VC turbo option on this Rogue, which I really hope that they will include on there. And then lastly, we do expect that there will be a hybrid model, since there was a hybrid Rogue before, but then they got rid of it. So we expect that to return with this new generation Rogue.
Right.
Now, as far as the interior, obviously this is a huge part of the redesign, and hopefully it will have a lot more tech and a lot more luxury to keep it in line with its rivals.
We got one picture, one spy picture. Inside of that spy picture, you can see a couple things, a couple key elements. One, a large display. That's kind of expected these days. It looks like it's probably 9 to 10 inches large, something in that ballpark. You could also tell that things are more upscale, because we can see some more premium materials around, some leather on the console, stuff like that. There was an electronic shifter as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And hopefully, I would assume that if they keep the trim structure the same with this new generation Rogue, the SL with the Platinum package, it should continue to maybe have some diamond quilted seats. Something like that will definitely set it apart in the segment to make it more luxurious, especially since a lot of them in this segment now are pushing upwards of past 40 grand. You know, you do need to have that high-end level of luxury. Hopefully ventilated seats, 360 cameras, that type of thing will be added onto this new model. Now, as far as the pricing and availability for this all-new Rogue, of course, we're not going to know a huge amount about this just because it's pretty far from being out in dealers right now. So as far as the pricing, we expect it to stay roughly the same as the current generation model. So that starts around 26. So be looking at $27,000 price point for it starting. And then as far as when it's going to go on sale, the official thing says late 2020. We're hoping that the coronavirus pandemic won't affect that release date. So if you're looking for a family CUV and you're looking maybe in a year or so to buy it, definitely wait around and see what this all-new Rogue is going to have to offer, because it could just be that perfect blend of luxury, space, and value for your family.